Hi creators, I'm Anne of Anne Again Creates. Today I'll be showing you how to go from this to this. A letter R for artworks. We've got the letter outline, but before we really get started, I just wanted to note that you can certainly use a slotted tool to do any and all rolling for this project. I love slotted tools because it makes it easier, but I often use a straight pin for the sake of a smaller center hole and no kink. So for those interested in this method, you want to prep your strip by giving it a couple hard curls at the beginning, then place the pin right below the edge and press in, then use your thumb to roll firmly down your index finger. And it gets hard to keep rolling around the straight pin, so once you have a decent start to the coil, you can just finish rolling by hand. And that's a tight coil. And if you let it relax, it's now a loose coil. And a loose coil is the first step to making many different quilling shapes, like the Marquise. Okay, pause. I've got a confession. I have been saying it wrong in other videos. I thought this shape was this, which I pronounce Marquis. I mean, it made sense to me. A Marquis is a position of nobility, and this shape is very noble. But it's actually this, which is pronounced Marquise. And it took me a while to be sure I was wrong, but here's what finally convinced me. I did a Google search for Marquis shape, and it came up with Marquise shapes. Marquise, Marquise, and Marquise. Yeah, I was wrong. So for the rows I'm making, I'll turn that Marquise into a crescent shape by pushing up and in with my thumbs. Now creating the rows was not as tricky as I feared. A simple loose coil for the center, and the rest of it is all crescent shapes that get bigger and lighter as you go outward. A small dark pink near the center, medium-sized medium pink, and then for the outside round you've got big light pink. Now this one piece I'm going to glue directly to the outline, trying to hide the outline a bit as it cuts through the flower, make it a little less obvious. Finish gluing the outer petals, and the rose is done. Time to add some greenery around the rose. To make leaves, I'll be rolling a strip of bright green and forming it into a Marquise. I like the bright color, but we're going to tame it down a bit by wrapping it in a dark green strip. Now the bright green is a thin paper. I'm talking floppy, which means that it smushes together nicely when I do a shaped Marquise. So I'm going to leave some individual like this, but to make a bigger leaf, glue two of the Marquise together, and then add a shaped Marquise on either side so they touch at the bottom. Now we can glue down all of our leaves. To make a scroll, roll a strip like you're making a loose coil. Dang, that's handsome. But if you're going for something different, you can adjust the scroll, you can cut it, you can get the shape you want. And I like using a variety of greens. It makes my eye happy. This swirl is not hard to make, so don't be intimidated. I've got a stack of 6 strips that I'm gluing together at the end. Then I cut them all the same length, and again, glue the ends together. Now my tweezers don't have a strong enough grip, so I used my quilling needle to curl the end a bit, and then I was able to wrap the stack around the tweezers. And as I wrap, the strips start separating. Isn't that cool? And the trickiest part of all is getting it glued down. See what I mean? I'm pretty sure you can do better than I did. I want to expand the swirl, so I'm adding some more curved strips. Yellow, orange, and pinks as a tie-in to the rose. I'm using a quilling board here to make petals that are all the same size. I know that there are more uses to the quilling board, but this is how I use it the most. Make a coil and let it loosen to be the size of the hole in the template, and then glue it shut. Then pinch one side to form a cute little teardrop. I wanted to wrap it in a dark blue at first, which, I mean, looks quite fetching. But I changed my mind and decided a dark burgundy would be better, kind of picking up on the shades of pink again. For the center of this flower, I'm making a simple tight coil. Roll it up nice and snug, then glue it shut, and we're ready to glue down the flower. These things next to the flower look like they could be complicated, but it's easy. Light blue Marquise, wrapped in a bright green, and placed in a cool pattern. Adding another blue flower, more curved strips in the center, along with a couple scrolls. Okay, so here's my failed attempt at using a curling coach. It really seemed the opposite of helpful. I shouldn't say that. It was very helpful in making a bad tight coil. But it looks like the beginnings of a domed tight coil. So let's continue on that theme and use this handy dandy mold to make it better. That seems respectable. Let's glue it down. And dang, double dang. Okay, tip for you. Smart quillers don't push on the top of their domed tight coils. Actually, I'll take that back. Smart quillers brush a layer of glue on or maybe under the mound to keep it in place. If only. The last few pieces are curved teardrops in a lovely green and some multicolored tight coils. Oops, can't forget about the fancy tidbit at the end. And there you have it. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you next time.